So it's a Sunday morning, the 19th. I just got home yesterday, Saturday the 18th, from spending 8 days in Myrtle Beach playing golf. And this is what I came home to. Yeah, crappy weather. It's snowing, it's blowing, it's cold. And then it's going to be 50s next week, or middle of next week, 40s and 50s. While I was gone, I think Tuesday, we had over a foot of snow. And then Thursday, Barb actually did all the plowing. Thursday went up to 50. Friday it rained, so can't even ride snowmobile because it's just shit now. But the rest of this video, when my brother gets home, I'm gonna go up there because, you know how I told you in the last video, he had the Gator and was gonna work on it while I was gone. Well, you didn't know I was leaving because I didn't tell anybody this time that I was going anywhere. But yeah, there's some interesting things that we're gonna discuss about the Gator when he gets home and I go up there, so stay tuned. I got it in my hand. All right, here's the Gator. Here's the new power steering that I got from that ATV place in the box. Because, look, Doug's shop. You wanted to open this and we'll show him what. I already unlatched this side. So there's the original power steering. That's back in. So, how was it you explained this to me? These two hook up no matter what.
To this pump, they do not hook to the...
They do not hook to the other one.
So the new Super ATV power steering system works, but it does not fool the ECU to shut the lights off.
Okay, so they claim they tested everything, so here's where I'm a little disgruntled with my dealership, which is not one of the big chain John Deere dealerships. They're one of the few, if not maybe the only family-owned dealership left. Did we decide if this is a fuse or a breaker or...
I call it relay.
Relay, whatever they want to call this. This is a 50 amp. All right, shine your light and we'll show them where it goes. We got this cover off. It goes right there. We got a 40 amp in it for now because it's all he had. But they were in here because there's dielectric grease on shit and whatnot. And they claimed they tested everything. So you tell me, Doug. They claim they tested everything. They had power to this and everything. Or they had power to where everything should have power. So it had to be the power steering that was bad.
The module that had a bulletin on it.
Yes, the module. But yet it turns out it was this, which we haven't got a 50 yet, so we don't know how much this costs, but
$5.
I was gonna say less than 10 bucks for this. He had a 40, so he threw it in. It works. The light goes out, the power steering works. So here's where I'm a little disgruntled, pissed off. You're gonna sell these things that are 20, 30 grand. You know, this is a 19. I have no idea what a new one costs. I traded my old one in for this, so I didn't pay full price, obviously. But I think the list price on this was $24,000 back then in 19. If you're gonna sell something, you really ought to be able to work on it and diagnose what the hell's wrong with it, rather than somebody who's not a certified John Deere mechanic, who, you know, figures it out that it's this thing. And he figured it out by going on, guess what? YouTube. Yeah.
Give credit to Farmer Hunt.
Yeah, some guy named Farmer Hunt on YouTube figured out the problem because he had the same problem. And you take this shield off, which is just sitting back here for now. And they were in here because the battery cables, like I said, you know, they were in there. But apparently they didn't know to check this thing. So, which probably will cost $5 or $10. Yeah. And charge you for an hour's worth of labor. So that's the part that we're kind of like, okay, this was $606. Now I got to return it. They got a 25% restocking fee. Plus I have to pay the shipping. So 25%, that's off the top of my head around 150 bucks. Plus, I don't know, that's going to cost probably 30 bucks to ship back with the weight of it. So I'm going to be out between 175 and 200 bucks of my original $606 that I spent for that thing. So now what happens if I had let the dealer do it? They had charged me the $1,700 for, you know, that from John Deere, plus shipping, plus labor. They put it together and find out it doesn't work. Then what? They finally figure out what could possibly be wrong that they didn't figure out the first time. Set that there on the bench. And then do they give me back my $1,700 plus shipping, plus the couple hours worth of labor that they spend? I don't know. But I will be having a chat with the dealer so that, you know, in the future when they sell more of these and they have this problem, which I don't know, they've redone them. What'd you say, that's all up front now?
Yes, they put it in a different spot.
Yeah, they put it in a different spot because obviously, as you can see, that's down low near the ground where mud and all sorts of shit can get in there. And that was part of the problem, right?
Yep.
You said it was covered in mud.
Yes.
So it was covered in shit, and that's why it went bad, as you can tell by looking at it. I don't know if I showed it to you up close, but so I'm just curious, would they have, you know, given me back my $2,000? Yeah, you can see how shitty that is. That it would have cost me for them to do it. So instead it cost whatever that thing cost, and him putting 2 hours more into it than he needed to. So I don't know, but I am definitely going to get a hold of them and have that discussion, because it's kind of, I don't know, I realize that there's things that their people need to learn as they go along, but when some dude on YouTube figures it out, maybe dealerships ought to start watching YouTube. I don't know. All right, so just to clarify, when he put that in, it made the power steering work. It's just the light never went off, because that wouldn't fool the ECU.
Correct.
Correct. So you would be so it would work, but you'd be driving around with the light on all the time saying there's something wrong with your power steering. But that power steering that we showed you, we're not going to take the hood back up or open it back up. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just, well, I got it in the gator now. It was just that little fuse, relay, whatever you want to call it. So yes, the new power steering worked, but it would have been a waste of $606, and you would have been driving around with the light on all the time, because all it was that $5 or $10 relay down there. So technically there was never anything wrong with the one that John Deere wanted to try to sell me for $1,700.
Yes.
So it was that simple little $5 green relay part that was put in a shitty spot, and Doug looked it up. Now that the new ones, they obviously knew they had an issue, so they've made that relay go under the hood now, where it can't be down low where it's getting mud and shit and everything all over it. So yeah, basically when you buy something that's in the first few years of it being out, you get to be the guinea pig is what it amounts to. And like I told you in the last video, the service guy supposedly got a hold of the John Deere, whatever you want to call him, district man or whatever, who basically said, oh well, too bad, it's off warranty, fuck you, you're gonna pay for it. And with their ridiculous price, that's why we went aftermarket, and now I'm gonna lose money on sending the aftermarket back, because trying, like Doug said, we could try and sell that, but that strictly would be for anybody who has one without power steering and wants power steering, wants to add it on. So it might sell, it might not. So do you cut your losses and lose the $175 roughly that I'm probably going to lose. It's just frustrating that when you sell something, you ought to be able to diagnose the problem and figure it out before you just immediately start wanting to throw really expensive parts on it. You know, you saw how I went through that with one of the other dealerships with the 8235 2 falls ago when we were having all of our Greta issues, which is why I don't deal with that dealership anymore. You know, let's just throw this $1,000 part on. Let's throw this $2,000 part on. Oh, it didn't need those? Oh well. So, alright, this video's over. Push on the Grumpy Farmer link, get your hat, t-shirt, all that happy horse shit. We'll see you in the next one.